Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and the VIX is an inside day candle. Right now, I always say where the trouble place is, right? So as of now, pre-market support is here around 1886. Now, it's a lot of resistance here. So where are the trouble places to the upside? We will need to break above at least the 1925, which will be a lot of areas here, which the 1925 is our 200 EMA. So if we should break that to the upside, then we could possibly, have trouble around 1935. If we break the 1935, 1950, and if we should break that 1956. Now, if by chance we break the 1956, we have the inside day trigger here at $20.24. Is it possible? Y'all know I always say anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed, right? So if we should break the trigger of $20.24, the upside target for the VIX today is $20.47. Now, looks like we're trying to move our way back to the downside under this level here of 1886. We have support here at 1871. If we lose to 1871, 1864, which is the downside trigger for the inside day candle, if we break this level, we could very well find support at 1845, again at 1832, which brings us to our target for the downside of 1818. So I normally look at the VIX because it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY. I like to say it like this, like when the VIX is up, that means the SPY is down, and when the VIX is down, that means the SPY is up. So let's go look at the SPY. And let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. My charts are really congested, and I said I was going to clean them up a little bit soon, right? So as of right now, the SPY is an inside day candle. We have already broken through the upside trigger. So the target for the SPY to the upside is 581.71. And that's interesting, right? 581.71. So I always say where the trouble places for the SPY as of right now. Let's see if we can look at, as of right now, it seems like we're breaking, to the upside. We should have trouble around this area here, 581.35. Again at 581.71 or 581.79, which is really, really close. 582.20, 582.91 or 582.51, that's going to be a trouble place. 582.80 is going to be a trouble place for the SPY, or could be a trouble place. Let me rephrase that. 583.43, if we should break that level, 584.12. If we break the 584.12, just know there's a lot of areas here. 584.41, 584.67, and yes, 584.67. If we break all of this, then we could possibly keep climbing, right? So if you trade the SPY today, I always say trade carefully. Those are going to be possible trouble places to the upside. Now, to the downside, you see all this congestion area here, which is rather interesting, right? So I'm going to say if the SPY should break under this level of 579.74, because there's a lot of support. There's the 50 EMA, the 20 EMA, and a lot of what was resistance area, which is now our support area. So under this 579.74 area, we could very well come back and find support around 579.20. Again at 579.02, which if we lose that area brings us to this area of where the ATR trailing stop is forming, 578.49. So if you trade the SPY today, I would definitely watch those areas for support and resistance. Now, what's interesting is Tesla, y'all. I know my charts for Tesla and the SPY, again, is very congested, and I do apologize for that, but these two are the ones that I normally look at every day. So as of right now, the trouble places, for Tesla, I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart. Our trouble places for Tesla is, it seems to have been fine. It closed at 260.48. It seems like we're finding support here at 255.59, and we have been this is our 4 o'clock candle here. So we've been finding support at this 20 EMA right now. It's been holding us up. Yes, we did come down, but we bounced, and it looks like it's trying to bounce to the upside for now, let's say that, right? So where are the trouble places for Tesla? If we get back above 258.22, we could possibly have trouble at 259.81, 260.70, 261.52, 262.70, 263.60. If we should break the 263.60 area for Tesla, 264.61, and again at 265.66, those are going to be trouble places to the upside. Now back to the downside. Under 254.76, we should have could have trouble around 254.84, and again at 252.28. If we lose that 252.28, we could possibly have trouble at 250.88. Now if Tesla break under this 250 area, I would say here under this 250 area, we could possibly come down and find a lot of support around the 248. So from 250, 249 to 248 could be a strong support area for Tesla, which is right under that ATR trailing stop. So I would definitely watch it under 248. If we lose that, we could possibly decline. Keep in mind, Tesla gapped up yesterday, so there's a gap to the downside that will need to be filled on the daily chart. That's not saying that it's going to happen today. I always say anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed, so wait on confirmation before entering your trades. And I say often, once it goes against your why, get out. So Apple is an inside day candle also. So let's do the trigger for that first. If Apple should break above 230.82, we have an upside target for Apple at 235.14, and if by chance we break under 228.38, the downside target was 227.78, and it looks like we've already reached that target to the downside. It came down here and found support. So where are the trouble places for Apple today? It seems as if we're having issues here at this area of 2. Well, we look like it wants to break beyond that 229.53. What's interesting is it's breaking out of a gathering spot. That's good to point out here, right? So right now price is gathering in this area and Apple is breaking out of that. So trouble places for Apple, 229.53. If we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble at 230.15. If we break the 230.15, 230.25, and the ATR trailing stop is not far from 230.43. From 230.43, 230.52. So in my opinion, that area here is a lot of resistance for Apple. So if by chance we break above the 230.48 area, just know that 230.82, and again here at 231.03, beyond the 231.03, 231.42, if we break that, we could possibly have trouble at 232.07. Those are going to be trouble places for Apple to the upside. Now, if we break this 200 EMA, which is around the 232.07 as of right now, we could possibly have trouble again with Apple around 233.21. So if you trade Apple today, those are areas that I would definitely watch for resistance or trouble places. Now, if we come back under the 228.38, we could possibly find, support here at 227.96 and again at 227.78. And if we lose that area, then 227.17 is the area of possible support. Under the 227.17, we could possibly have support around 226.63 and again at 225.88. So those are places for Apple to the upside and to the downside. It is an inside day candle, so y'all know I always say trade carefully, because just when you think it could very well go against you, anything is possible, right? So we are now looking at AMD. AMD closed at 153.44. As of now, it is getting rejected at this ATR trailing stop. See how price went, test that, came down, got rejected. So where are the trouble places for AMD as of right now? Looks like that ATR trailing stop, which is right here around the 155.22 area, is a resistance area. Seems like we broke out of a gathering spot only to bounce up, get rejected. Now, so where are the trouble places? It will definitely need to get back above this 155.22, and if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble at 155.54. If we break that level, 155.69, which is the 200 EMA on this daily chart, on the 30-minute chart, if we break that 155.69, we could possibly have trouble at 156.18. So if you trade AMD, these are areas that I would definitely watch to the upside for resistance or trouble places. Above the 156.18, we could possibly have trouble around 156.75. So I would definitely watch that. Now to the downside, can we go back to the downside? Absolutely. So under this level 154.84 area, we could possibly find support at 154.63, which is really close. Now under that 154.63 area, we can come back to this level of 154.22. Under 154.22 or the 23 area, which is right here where this 20 EMA is, we could possibly have trouble or support at 154.02. If we lose that 154.02, 153.91. Now if we lose the 153.91 for AMD, 153.65 could very well be a support area. And how I come up with that is, as you can see, price gathered. Let me see if I can get price gathered in this area here, and it is created a zone for us. So, and as you can see, the ATR trailing stop is now forming in this area here. So under 153.67, you know, we could very well come back and find support in this zone here, which is around the 153.29 area. Price is just gathered in this area. If we lose the 153.29, we could very well come back to 152.97 or 98. Under the 152.98, 152.64. So if you trade AMD today, y'all, trade carefully. Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Let's look at NVDA today just to see where we are. We closed at 140.41. It too is breaking out of a gathering spot, as you can see here. It's like immediately my eyes go to this area here. So NVIDIA was trading in this zone here. Pre-market support was around the 140.68, which is here. 140.68. Resistance was around the 140.92. So that's where price was gathered. It broke out of that. So where are the trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now? If we should break above this level of 141.42, we could very well have trouble at 141.58. If we break the 141.58, we could possibly have trouble here at 142.42. If we break the 142.42 area for NVIDIA, which is our price target, it looks like NVIDIA is an inside day candle. So let me say that, right? So let's go back. If we break that 141.42, the target to the upside is 142.42. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break under 140.38, we could possibly find support at 130.06. If we break the 130.06, 139.71 could be support for us. Under 139.71, 139.08, under 139.08, we could find support at 138.57. Now the downside trigger for the inside day candles at 138.46. Now if we break that 138.46 for NVIDIA, the downside target is 137.46. So I would say trade carefully if you trade NVIDIA today. It is an inside day candle. It is trading side or in this gathering spot, as I like to say. And just knowing where your trouble places are or where your support is and where your resistance is, basically, right? So we do have a lot of inside day candles. I made a previous video of that, and Amazon was one of those, and it seems as if, looking at Amazon, this is our gathering spot as of right now. Price is just gathered in this area, so support would be around the 187.50. Resistance is at 187.83. Yes, price did break past this, but as you can see, look at the body of the candles. So we're right in this area for Amazon. And if I always say where the trouble place is, right? So to the upside, 187.82. If we break that level, 187.98. If we break that level, 188.41. If we break the 188.41, 189.13. If we break the 189.13, let's see, 188.39. If we break the 189.17 area, we could possibly have trouble at 190.08 for Amazon, 190.08. Now back to the downside, under this level 187.14, we could possibly have trouble around 186.79. If we break the 186.79, we can come back to 186.19, which is not far from the ATR trailing stop. You see we bounced off of that before, 186.03. So under 186.03 for Amazon, 185.61. If we should break the 185.61, we could very well come back down to this level. Let's see, 185.11. So those are places that I would look for the upside and to the downside for Amazon. Again, it is an inside day candle, and it's interesting for inside day candles, especially when you see them reach the target pre-market, to see how the stock is going to trade throughout the day, right? So Netflix is also an inside day candle. if by chance we break above 755.91, the upside target for Netflix is 764.23. If we should break under 745.79, we have a downside target of 744.22. So again, it looks like we were already trying to break this trigger to the upside. Netflix is interesting because it normally moves, let's see, about $20.10 per day. That could be in either direction. So if you trade Netflix today, I say trade carefully. And as of now, this is our gathering spot for Netflix. It seems like support is around here at the 752.31, and resistance is around the 754.84. And I marked that. I'm gonna see if I can get this off so that I can show again how immediately my eye goes to this area of the gathering spot. And price gathered in this area, and it may have gone up just a little bit, but you see where price came back to. So I call that the gathering spot, right? So I would definitely watch this area for Netflix, 754.84 and 752.31. So yeah, again, let's go back to see where we are with the SPY. I know the SPY is a little congested. Again, we do have a lot of inside day candles. I did make a previous video on that, so if you would like to check that out, that would be great. So as of now, SPY came up. We test this area of 851.39 only to get rejected. We did break through a little. However, our trouble place is 581.37. We have an upside target of 581.71. We could very well reach that target, or we can get rejected and come back to the downside. So yeah, y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. Again, this is what I see when I look at the market, and the key to trading is finding, you know, what strategy works for you and having the discipline to execute your plan, right? So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. If you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.